Yes, I am. Podcasting live. Well, it's April. Easter's coming, and we're blessed. We find out if our pets hate us, if our kids are brats, and if our friends are really our friends. This is MJ and the boys, you lucky bastards.
Hola!
Hola!
Gosh.
Neil's intros are getting extravagant.
Yeah, I used the whole bed that time.
I'm going to have to make the music longer.
I'm going to start writing them down, I think.
So?
Well, that seems absurd, Neil. So how is everybody's quarantine going?
Hola,
Has anyone been outside?
Hey, we got a message from Ice Tray 74. Hola, muchachos.
Oh, muchachos. See, I have my phone held way away from me, and it looked like it says, hello, motherfuckers.
That's what I thought it said, too. What up, motherfucker?
I was looking at some of the old podcast comments, and there's the best one. It says, you guys suck. And the next one says, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I thought you were somebody else.
Yeah. At least he wrote back. The person who told us we sucked wrote back and said, no, I was actually aiming that at someone else.
Yeah, you suck. Oh, my bad. I was talking to about somebody else.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Sean, to answer your question, I've been outside. Saturday was my wife's birthday, and she wanted to go hiking very badly for her birthday, which she wants every year on her birthday. So, all the state parks and
Wait. Pause real quick. Pause. I am so sorry. She is how many months pregnant wanting to hike at 41?
This was her 41st birthday. She is 5 months pregnant.
She's a fucking cyborg. You can continue on now. What the fuck? I don't know how the fuck I would get out of bed, let alone be like, I want to go on a hike with my kid and you. What?
I don't know. She's been sitting on her ass for the past 4 weeks, so she wanted to stretch her legs a little bit.
Poor thing.
She's working from home, and I set her up her workstation on our coffee table and told her, it was just until we, get a desk for her. And she don't want a desk. She's sitting on a pillow on the floor doing her job like a 2-year-old.
Oh my God, pregnant.
But so we went hiking. We went all the state parks and every place is closed. All the trails are closed. But I know of this trail that the parking lot for the trail has only got 3 parking spaces in it. So it's a very unpopular place. Okay,
right? It's where men go to meet other men.
Sometimes, I'm sure. I thought it was secluded. I've been there. I thought it was secluded. Well, I got there and we drove all the way there. It's way out in the woods, and we got there and it was also closed. And there was a woman who worked for the state, standing there turning people away, and she said she turned like 400 cars away over the past 2 days. And she told me that some people were cussing her out. Hey, Acid Bath is here. Hey, what up, Acid Bath?
I'm guessing Anna Lee probably cussed her out.
We did not cuss her out. We were like, oh my God, we're so sorry that's been happening. Can you understand? Can you believe that? Like, people are like swearing, cussing out the person whose job it is just to stand and guard the hiking trail.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
people are
crazy.
Foul. They're foul.
Yeah, that is because people are assholes.
Yeah, I mean, like, straight up, I've got an app, which I used to think was cool, called Nextdoor, and it connects you with your neighbors, until I realized that my neighbors are a bunch of, like, nosy-ass wannabe cops who can't be cops. Like, they seriously have been, like, throwing neighbors under the bus. The one today, the big thing in my neighborhood is somebody had somebody in their garage, one person, right? They came over and they were in their friend's garage on their property. They didn't do anything. They didn't go anywhere. And they are like, they're trying to kill us all. Call Andy, call the NARC line. Somebody said call the cops. And I was like, what in the hell is really going on? What is wrong with people? Like it's bringing out the worst in them. Like, calm down, okay? Calm down. Because it turned out this guy was a nurse, and that was his coworker. And neither of them are allowed around their families because their job puts them in danger. Therefore, when they got done with work, together, You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't even know the story in there. So I have zero problem believing that they are cussing out some poor forest ranger who's like, you can't go on this trail. Like,
I will tell you what's good about that that app Nextdoor that you were talking about. It's really good for weeding out which of your neighbors is racist.
oh, they're awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Like,
you can really figure it out fast.
I straight up almost deleted it. Like, if these are my neighbors, I would rather not know because Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
Now the past couple of weeks we've talked about like, okay, what shows do you binge watch? What movies do you recommend? That kind of thing. So this week, I want to ask you guys. I've binge watched everything. I've watched all the movies. I don't want to watch any more programs on my television. What else can I do? What are you guys doing in self-quarantine to keep yourself interested?
I want to go first.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said acid.
No, I said ask me. No, I actually am learning Spanish because I read something today saying people are learning languages, doing yoga and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, I'm fucking napping. And it made me feel like such a piece of junk that I downloaded Babbel. And, yeah, I've been doing Babbel, so I'm going to try to learn Spanish. That's why I opened the show with Hola, ¿cómo estás?
That is awesome.
So
wow.
Yeah, straight up.
You're literally the last person I would have expected to say something like that. What else do you know besides Hola and ¿cómo estás?
Just the male, female. Like, I mean, I just took like 2 lessons, and it's basically what I remember from college. The male, female, you know, L, or ella, and, you know, just stuff like that. So I'm only 2 courses in, but I was like, well, fuck it. I took 2 years of Spanish, and surely Babbel can help me. So I did. I ponied up the $20 or whatever and paid for my $3 subscription, and bitch is going to learn Spanish.
Crazy. Good for you, MJ. Wow. What you been doing, Sean?
Pretty much the same thing you have. I binge watched everything. And, you know, I do still work. I do still do a daily radio show in addition to this weekly radio show. So,
right.
As do I, Sean. You want some kind of goddamn cookie?
I talk a lot more than you do.
Okay.
I do actually kind of want a cookie because, you know, my radio show is about sports, of which there are none at the moment. So,
yeah, that is a pretty
I've been, yeah, I've been spending a lot of my time thinking up tangentially sports related lists that we can.
The big sports this weekend was iRacing and WrestleMania.
We did our favorite wrestlers today. We did 2 solid hours of callers, and it got a very heavy reaction. People love to talk about their favorite wrestlers.
They love. I don't even like wrestling, and I want to talk about that right now. Now, I remember if you go back through our archives, I'm pretty sure that we've done a Big 5 top favorite wrestlers or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was one of our very earliest Big 5s.
If I remember correctly, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, your favorite wrestler of all time, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
You're in the same era.
British Bulldog. The British
No. Roddy Piper.
Yeah, Roddy Piper is pretty awesome.
Yeah, Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
That is a guy.
That's Ice Tray. That's what he's nominating.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka is in my top 5, along with King Kong Bundy, Coco Beware, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
You and Acid Bath got actually Acid Bath is a big fan of Hack. Saw him dug in.
Nice.
Yeah, he carried a 2x4 around, smacked people with a 2x4.
My favorites are started. Most of them all got their start in Memphis wrestling. Jerry the King Lawler.
Yes.
Soul Man Rocky Johnson, The Rock's dad. Austin Idol. Handsome Jimmy Valiant.
From those guys, those two last ones you mentioned came up in the course of the show we did today. Handsome Jimmy Valiant, and Awesome Austin Idol, or whatever you said.
Well,
Okay,
he was
guys.
the first guy to call Rupp Arena named it after himself. He's like, come to the Idol Arena and that kind of stuff. I mean, the arrogance of the guy was awesome.
So we've only got 3 or 4 people online listening right now. I'm sure we'll get more downloads tomorrow. But since there's not that many people listening, I'm going to share something very personal with you.
Oh, God.
Okay. I actually lost my virginity to a professional wrestler.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
It wasn't, it wasn't Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Please don't say Sensational Sherry.
Okay, she wasn't famous. She was like a tri-state. She was a tri-state champion, like West Virginia, Kentucky, and
Independent wrestler.
Ohio. I guess I don't know. And she called herself the Archangel. Okay, and I met her at a Bad Company concert.
Well, sure.
This doesn't get this kid any more redneck. She was like 30, and I was like, I think I just turned 17, and she took me back to her place and filled me full of peach schnapps and took advantage of me.
So, hang on.
Yeah.
You were the lady in this relationship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Totally.
I mean, the more things change, the more they stay the same, right?
She filled you full of peach schnapps and took advantage of you.
It might have been cinnamon schnapps. It was some kind of schnapp. But see, that's not what I wanted to tell you, because she was friends with lots of professional wrestlers. She was real good friends with the Road Warriors. Remember those guys that wore the shoulder pads with the spikes on them?
Mm-hmm.
And she was also friends with a guy called Lenny the Leaper, who, Neil, you might remember Lenny the Leaper, and Sean, and Sean, you might remember him in your era of wrestling. He called himself the Genius.
Yeah, Leaping Lanny.
Leaping Lanny Poffo.
Yeah.
Randy Savage's brother.
I didn't know that. She told me that Leaping Lenny could suck his own dick and loved to perform for anybody who wanted to watch. Like, they would come in his dressing room and he would show it to them.
He was very flexible. That's one thing that he did in ICW a lot. He didn't actually,
sucked his own dick?
That. No. He didn't perform that maneuver in the ring, but he did, a lot of gymnastic type moves.
He
that corroborates my story.
Sucked his own dick. Like, what the fuck?
That's what you call a finishing maneuver.
That is. That corroborates my story, Neil. See, I didn't know that Lenny the Leaper was a very flexible guy. It tells me that it's true. I believe her.
Well, Lexington had a wrestling promotion called ICW for a while, and the Poffo brothers were a big part of it. Lanny Poffo, Randy Savage, and their dad, the Miser. He was awesome.
Was the Archangel one of them?
I don't remember seeing the Archangel.
Good.
I tried to look up thinking maybe the Archangel would have a web presence.
Yeah.
But unless you lost your virginity to someone named Riptide, Angel Orsini, better known as Riptide.
No.
She wasn't really a wrestler. She was just a big chick who wanted to get laid. And
no, she had a belt. MJ, she had a belt.
I'm a hot topic.
She showed me. She had a belt. She
and then the only other Archangel I could find is a very muscular man who paints his face blue.
Maybe you're spelling it with are you spelling with a C or a K?
A CH, the way it's spelled.
It could be ARC Angel or ARK Angel. My wife is looking it up now too.
And
guys,
Sticky,
stop trying to find the Archangel.
Sticky, just because
no, I got to see what this person looks like.
Just because she has a belt doesn't really mean that she's actually done anything.
Well,
I have a belt. Well,
I do too.
There's an Archangel de la Muerta. This is a gentleman going by the name Alfredo Pasillas, was a Mexican luchador.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't him. I mean, her. I mean, forget it. Sean,
you don't know. You don't even know. He's so flabbergasted.
What else was I going to tell you about? Yeah. Oh, I got to wrestle, Neil. I got to wrestle at Monday Night Raw one time.
Oh God, you suck.
I got to get in the ring. They put me in one of those big fat sumo suits. You know, the big bubbly sumo suits. And I got to wrestle a quote unquote lucky listener when I was on the morning show on Z103. And I actually climbed up to the second rung of the wrestling ring, and I jumped and I smashed a guy, but I was wearing a big suit and I bounced off of him. I rolled over on my back and he jumped up and pinned me.
Because you were like a turtle and couldn't get up.
Yeah, I was like a turtle. I couldn't. That's exactly right. I bounced off of him. I rolled over and he pinned me.
Well, I was a independent wrestling announcer for a long time, and I got to go backstage at one WWE Raw. John Cena was there. I don't like him, but I did get to meet Howard Finkelstein before he retired, and backstage was really a weird scene. It was just weird.
Yeah, no, I went back there too. I thought it was really interesting that all the wrestlers who, were supposed to hate each other, they were like helping each other get dressed and stuff. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin was helping that gold guy put his gold makeup on. And I walked up to China. You remember China? Mm-hmm. And I said, I go, hey, mama, why don't you quit messing around with all these big muscle guys? Get with a nice soft teddy bear like me. And she looked at the person I was with and she said, who the fuck is this? And even though she was standing 3 inches away from me, she looked over me and said, who the fuck is this? And he said, well, that's Sticky. And she goes, you tell him to get the fuck away from me or else I'm going to break his face.
I think that's a fair reaction.
Yeah. I think, you know what I think? It was, she was really not mad that I was hitting on her. I think she was really mad because I asked her what her name was. And she just, everybody should know I didn't know who she was because I didn't follow wrestling at that time. You know what I mean? That was past my time. So.
Okay, check it out, guys. Adhesivo, tenor, and hombre.
What's that mean?
Adhesivo, tenor, and un hombre.
What are you saying?
Sticky dated a man.
I did not date a man. First of all,
he didn't dating. Just lost his virginity to a man.
It was a one-night stand. You can't say it's dating.
I think it was had sex. I think it was that's had sex with. Yeah. Sticky, yeah. Adhesivo, tenor, un hombre, or dos hombres.
Now, see, MJ, we just got Area 81 just logged on. He missed the first part of the story where I lost my virginity to a professional wrestler. And he just heard you say that I was dating a man. And now stop spreading rumors.
Hey, Sticky, I got to recommend something to watch called The Dark Side of Wrestling. Okay. It's the backstage stories of like some of the, like the screw job, Montreal screw job and that kind of stuff. Okay. Like kind of like what happened to you with the wrestling guy.
All right. It was not a guy. Go back and download the first part of this podcast and listen to the story. It was not a man.
But there's a woman. The story on New Jack, I just saw that. That is insane. This guy New Jack, he's crazy.
If any of our listeners want to call in and tell us your favorite wrestler or your favorite wrestling story, feel free. We've got one line open.
What you are doing in quarantine.
What?
Give us ideas about what to do in self-isolation. I'm learning Spanish. You guys are just doing guys and talking about wrestling. I don't know. I think we need some help.
Right. If anybody wants to call, that was what we started to do is anybody wants to give us ideas about what to do while you're in quarantine, call up with some ideas. You could build a puzzle. You could go bike riding. You could have gay sex with a wrestler. Whatever, anything. Here, Acid Bath is calling in.
Yay.
And okay, connected. Acid Bath.
Can you hear me?
Turn down your radio.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right.
Much. What's up, Acid Bath?
My favorite is Andre the Giant. That motherfucker drink like gallons of beer in one hand.
Oh, right.
Oh, but quarantine is going good. I found out I'm an essential guy.
He was the only wrestler that they had to actually agree to him losing. So you couldn't beat him straight up. Nobody could beat him.
No, you couldn't. It was like...
I got to cut you off, man, because you're doing there's a terrible feedback when you talk.
That sucks.
I'm calling on the same phone I'm talking on. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh,
No,
that sounds better. Now we're good.
No, you're fine.
Just hold it a little far away.
Oh, that's
like a microphone.
And headphones. Yeah, you need headphones too.
Yeah, I think you need a headphone in because we're RF. We're refeeding.
All right, hold on. Shit, I'll call back in.
All right, call back.
Okay.
Right on.
Oh,
That's interesting about.
Yo.
Que pasa? Yo.
Yeah, Andre the Giant. There's a documentary about him on HBO, right? Is it on HBO?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
It is absolutely fast. It's a great documentary. It's really well made. And he's a fascinating person. And, it's that story about him drinking like 300 beers at a time. It's true. But the sad part was it's not because he loved to party. It was because he was in pain. And that was how he self-medicated. Yeah.
Well, I still like that was his thing. That motherfucker just drink 3 gallons of beer with one hand.
It's true. But that's all true. He used to, and there was one story where he passed out in the lobby of a hotel and they just left him there because no one could move him. People had to step over him to get on the elevator.
Well, there's some footage of him. If he didn't want you backstage and he started to get up to get you out of backstage, you ran for your life. Because it was what's more intimidating than that big ass dude coming at you mad.
Let's try acid bath again.
All right, I'm going to turn mine down.
all right, is this better, guys?
So much better.
Perfect. You sound better than Mary Jane.
Oh, man.
Oh, I definitely do. I probably sound better than Neil with my cross-Canadian access.
Nice.
It's called cross-Canadian ragweed, CCR, other than clearance.
So, Andre, was your favorite?
Sorry.
Tell us about.
No, Sting was because I'm a Scorpio, but
Sting.
Andre ain't my favorite. My favorite was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He walked in there with a 2x4 and lay everybody out. I grew up, Stinky. I grew up with the Golden Girls. Stinky. I grew up with the Golden Girls and Alf.
All right.
Yeah.
We have a lot in common.
And I hated what was that soap opera, Days of Our Lives?
Gilmore Girls?
That was like, no, Days of Our Lives.
Okay.
That was like watching wrestling to me. And you had to still turn the antenna. I was the guy turning the antenna, homie. Stand still! Sorry, guys.
All right, that's all right.
No, man.
Sorry to date y'all, but
Acid Bath, I'm
anyways.
I'm disconnecting you. Bye, Acid Bath.
He had a great laugh.
That was fun, though. I like
He had
Acid Bath a lot.
laugh.
Area 81 is, he says that he saw Ultimate Warrior when he saw Ultimate Warrior Wrestler live. So I want him to call in and tell us that story. Ultimate Warrior is also in my top 5. Here's Area 81. Area 81.
Howdy.
Welcome to
How
the
you guys
show.
doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Wonderful.
So you saw the Ultimate Warrior.
Oi. I don't want to step on your vocals, man. Yeah. I got to see him wrestle Andre the Giant, man. Like right before he died, basically.
That's crazy.
It was at
Before which one died?
It was at Arco Arena. Oh, yeah, really, right?
Andre the Giant, I think.
Man. Before Andre the Giant died, yeah. but I saw him at the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California. And it was it was huge to me, man. That was like one of the defining moments of my childhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right on. What year was that? Like 89, 88, something like that? 87?
It had to be somewhere in there, yeah. Maybe like
Yeah.
88 or 89 if I remember, but
Because
I just remember.
those two guys, they were the Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Andre the Giant. They were like the big three of wrestling in the late 80s, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for Macho Man. I mean, you got to put Macho Man in there as well.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in the mix too.
Well, I did go home with a Macho Man T-shirt that day.
Oh,
Megan
yeah.
I
Powers.
think it was like $50, even back
Jesus.
Yeah, in California, I'd reckon.
I think there was a competition between Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior on who could do the most nonsensical promo.
That was a tough
Because
one.
they could both talk about nothing for 30 seconds and it would just sound insane.
Let me tell you, Mean Gene, the cream rises to the top.
What about the one where the Ultimate Warrior's talking about crashing a plane into the parts unknown? Have you guys heard that one?
Yeah, man. And the dude, he thought he was from Saturn or something. He said he was from Saturn or Jupiter or something. That guy was out of control.
Bum rushed the cockpit, Mean Gene, and send the plane into a nosedive, Mean Gene. He goes, it's like,
Gotta have
whoa,
more
what are you talking
respect.
about, man?
I like that they just
Sheesh.
make random ass threats in wrestling. I never thought I liked it, but this is sounding pretty cool. I could just come up with random stuff too, you know? I'll drive my car.
Wasn't it the
here.
golden era for cocaine, though, too?
Oh, yes, God.
If
Yeah,
you,
I think
I think they
Steroids.
all were on coke. Steroids and coke. It sounds safe.
if you look on Wikipedia, the list of dead WWF wrestlers under the age of 40 is about 100. I mean, it is. I was going to read them to you, but there's too many to read.
You only have 3 hours here, right?
Yeah, that's right. British Bulldog, Sean. I'm sorry to tell you, he's gone.
No, he died a few years ago, yeah.
Too?
Yeah,
Worst dad ever, Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't get that reference.
Tragic.
That's another dark side of wrestling story.
Real dark. He murdered his family and killed himself.
Oh, good God. Okay, well. That's just fun.
It's a light entertainment show we're doing.
I gotta learn to say buzz drill.
Well, I wasn't going to go that deep into the explanation. All I had to do was just say Chris Benoit, and you didn't have to give all the detail there.
No, you can't just leave. You can't leave people hanging like that, man.
Yeah, people just tuning in. They don't know what we're talking about.
He didn't tell you how they died, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's even
I'm not
worse.
going to say it either, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
It was
So, hey, Area 81. Let me give you a platform here. You've got your own podcast.
I do.
Oh, awesome.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I didn't want to say anything without your permission, guys. But basically, it's just a bunch of nonsense.
Like this.
Like this.
That's it. No.
Oh,
Basically, I get together, kind of what you guys are doing, but I usually get together with one other friend and occasionally two friends if I'm feeling friendly. And we just talk about whatever comes up. I mean, I do have like a list of things I go off of, and I do tell a lot of personal stories, such as the last one I think was me and my brother were getting chased by these vatos in Stockton, California. And
You're getting chased by what?
Ended in a horrific car crash. Some vodka
Whoa.
locos, man.
Vodka
Sounds like
Locos.
Mexican zombies.
Yeah. Are you not familiar with the term vato locos?
No.
No.
Are you
Is it for
serious?
blood?
I swear to God.
Oh
no, I
man.
just-
Okay, I'm a sheltered boy. I'll tell you that. Basically, let's see, Mexican gangsters or Latin gangsters, cholos, if you will.
Okay.
Okay. Why were they
Okay.
chasing you?
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I may or may not have thrown up gang signs at them.
Oh no.
It's a long. I mean, it's a tedious story, but we were getting chased because it was a road rage thing. They were trying to cut me and my brother off, and we stopped them from doing that successfully. Yes. And then they started throwing up these gang signs, and the only gang sign I knew was West Side, right? So I'm throwing up West Side in the rearview mirror.
MTV's gonna get you killed, man.
That's like a standard one, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Even people in Kentucky do know that.
everybody knows West
They did
Side.
not take kindly to that. So it ensued, car chase ensued, and it ended in honestly, their horrific car crash on the highway, on the freeway. Yeah.
Wow.
And I can only tell that now because the statute of limitations is over.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. God bless.
Did they die? Did they get injured? I mean, did you see what
There
happened
was
to
definitely
them?
injury.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in a nutshell, I exited on the off ramp, and they were 2 lanes over, and they decided they were going to try to do it too. And so they hit that dirt. It was a dirt median between the actual freeway and the off ramp. And when they hit that, they started spinning out of control. And they went into like the median area. There's grass and trees down there, and they crashed into a tree head first. And so my brother and I stopped. It was like 2 a.m, and we stopped. And there's smoke, and the airbags all deployed. And slowly, one by one, the doors open up. 4 doors.
Sounds like a Coen Brothers movie.
Did it though? God,
No-
I'm listening.
no
I'm
Country
listening.
for
I'm
Young
thinking
Men.
about the doors. Go.
Go on.
I'm listening to your podcast. Okay, the door's slowly open.
And so one by one, they all get out of the car. One's kind of you could see his legs messed up. He kind of limps on. And they're kind of getting their wits about him, and I honk the horn. I'm like, okay, they're cool. So I honk the horn. Beep, beep. It's my little Volkswagen Jetta. Okay, mind you, I'm a 6 foot, 250-pound man in a little Volkswagen Jetta. And so I honk that little horn. It sounds like a go-kart horn, beep, beep. And they look, and me and my brother go, yeah, what now? Yeah, West Side. And I continue, West Side.
Oh,
And we drove off into the night, man, and we don't know what happened after that.
So you were repping the West Side, and they well, you did. Wow, that was nice of you.
yeah, right. West Side owes you a solid favor. Like, if anything, they definitely do, because they got credit for that,
Wow.
I got a little street cred, I think, right?
What's the name of your podcast? What is the name of your podcast?
It is the Area 81 podcast.
Right.
And it's right here. It's also here on Podbean.
Correct. Yes, it is. And it's also
Awesome.
available on iTunes and the Google blah, blah, blah store, too.
Yeah, all that crap. Yep.
But, well, we
Awesome.
use Podbean, though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
thanks for that story.
For real.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen.
Anytime.
Right on, bud.
There goes. There goes
Bye, guys.
area.
I'll continue to
81. He's gone. Yeah, how about that?
That
You guys
was
ever been in a
awesome.
car crash?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but not anything like
Nothing
that.
like that.
Icy on the way to Chicago, and we spun out and hit the bridge, and airbags went off. We were all okay.
Yeah,
It was
I
really
crashed on the interstate in a 1971 Volkswagen Super Beetle.
Wow.
My breakdance crew crashed on New Circle Road coming back from 2001 VIP.
Your breakdance crew.
It was all my best friend's fault. We were at a stoplight right below right next to Woodhill. We were at the Woodhill stoplight.
Okay.
And the car pulled up next to us, and there were about 3 guys in there, and there were 5 guys in our car.
And you
they
flashed
started-
the West Side sign.
No. There were no signs flashed. But they started revving their engine, and we started revving our engine. My best friend, or my friend Bruce, was driving, and we were all, kind of cheering each other on, waiting for it to turn green. Said, "Come on, Bruce, take him." And his car our car kind of stalled, and they took off and just left us sitting. We wouldn't have gotten into the wreck if my best friend hadn't said, "Way to take him, Bruce."
So your
Bruce
best
got
friend
mad.
egged Bruce on.
Bruce got mad, tried to chase him down. The guy, when we caught up to him, they hit their brakes, and we started the longest hook slide you ever saw in your life, man. We did an S-curve spin and ended up in the far ditch on New Circle Road.
Jesus.
Neil, Please tell me the name.
No, this was the longest car crash ever.
Please tell me the name of your breakdancing crew. Please tell me that you guys had a name.
The Stony Point crew.
Oh my God. The Stony Point crew.
The original name was the Stony Point Wrecking Crew, but copyright infringement and stuff. We couldn't afford any legal stuff.
Do you have a signature breakdance move that you do?
Are you a head spinner?
Oh,
No, I didn't do the head spin. I couldn't. I didn't have the balance for it, and I couldn't do the windmill either.
Well, I'm glad that not Acid Bath, but Area 81 brought up the car crash, and Neil had your story because I have a weird news story that I'll share with you. It's got to do with a car crash. Dog found behind the wheel after high-speed chase in Washington State.
Dogs are terrible drivers.
This is from the Huffington Post. A Washington State man who led police on a high-speed chase on Sunday may not have been actually driving. Officers said they found the suspect's pit bull behind the wheel. Not his pet bull, his pet pit bull behind the wheel after his 1996 Buick crashed, according to Seattle TV station KOMO. The unidentified 51-year-old male suspect in Lakewood, Washington, is now facing several charges, including DUI, reckless driving, hit and run, and felony eluding. Authorities said the man struck two vehicles before he hit Interstate 5. One trooper reported seeing the pit bull in the driver's seat with the owner handling the steering wheel from the passenger seat.
No, like you've never done that.
The car reportedly hit speeds of 109 miles per hour during the chase, and at one point drove on a popular trail for pedestrians.
Well, what do you expect when you teach a dog to use cruise control?
Right?
State troopers eventually ended their pursuit by throwing down spike strips, but then came the shocker. Washington State Patrol Heather Axman said the driver told the police that he was trying to teach his dog how to drive. She added, "I wish I could make this up. I've been a trooper for almost 12 years now. I've never heard this excuse. I've been in a lot of high-speed chases. I've stopped a lot of cars, and I've got a lot of excuses that they were teaching, and I've never gotten an excuse that they were teaching their dog how to drive." The officer said the pit bull was a very sweet girl.
See,
Honestly.
that's the thing. That is why dogs are better than people. They are literally your best friend because they will take a DUI rap for you. You know, they'll got taken, and then they'll come home when it's all said and done and be like, "Listen, it's cool, bro. It's cool. I appreciate you." I mean, your friend would throw you under the bus in a minute. Like, no, I was just sitting in his lap. You know.
Honestly, it sounds like he was doing a pretty good job teaching the pit bull how to drive.
Our buddy Trey made an interesting point saying a 96 Buick's not going 109 miles an hour. That's
I don't know, man. I don't know. It just depends on the model.
Yep.
What's the fastest you've ever driven?
God.
Well over 100 in the Mustang coming down the mountains in Tennessee.
Yeah. I drove 115 once going to Atlanta in my mother's Mazda MX-6.
However fast
it was,
the 80s will go.
I was like 17, you know.
I got to ride in the NASCAR Experience.
Of course.
Richard Petty car around the Kentucky Speedway track.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I rode in the passenger seat. And going into the first turn, man, you see some tire tracks, black tire marks going straight into the wall. That's very comforting going on, when you're going that fast.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm totally good on that.
Well, I driving to the racetrack. I was driving about 65 top speed. Coming back, I was going 90 easy.
Yeah, like this ain't nothing.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Hey Trey, if you're listening, call us. Let's hear your story. In the meantime, did you guys hear about the British man who thwarted his self-quarantine by running a marathon in his backyard?
What?
James Campbell spent his 32nd birthday by running 7,000 laps in his backyard.
Wow. See, those are the people that make me feel like shit every time I take a nap.
This guy's a professional javelin thrower. So, I guess he's like an athlete or whatever. But I got a picture of him. He's got a little tiny backyard, tiny little backyard. And he ran in the square 7,000 times and ended up being 26.2 miles.
Well, I cut my grass over the weekend and I had to go back and forth at least 20 times in my backyard. So that's about the same.
I did about 15 push-ups over the weekend.
The whole weekend?
Yeah, the whole weekend. Total.
15. No, so not 15 in a row, but just 15 total.
15 total.
1 an hour for 15 hours.
I got to tell you guys.
I don't think I paced it out that well. It's more like a group of 8, 5, and 3, I think.
That makes sense. I bought. I downloaded the game God of War on my PlayStation 4, and I have not gotten off the couch for probably 48 straight hours. Like
those two things are not necessarily related.
That's true too, but I will say this is the best $20 I've ever spent. So that's my recommendation for how to beat the quarantine blues. Yeah, I went for a bike ride, whatever, but PlayStation. That's
if
the
you
thing.
go through Ebates or Rakuten is what it's called now, and get Babbel, you get cash back, so you end up paying $20 for 3 months, and you can learn language.
Could do that too. We've got Ice Trey 74 on the line. Guy shares my birthday. What's up, Trey?
Hey, okay. Wait. Hey, hold on. Sorry.
Oh,
can you hear me?
I got you. There you are.
Yeah.
What have you been doing to battle the quarantine blues, man? What are you doing to keep your self interested?
Well, I work in an essential industry, so I'm in my office 4 days a week. So to be honest with you, it hasn't really impacted me as much as it has total shut-ins, like my wife. She's been working from home now for like a month. So if anything, when I get home, she's so excited for some human interaction, and it's like I'm dead beat from working my ass off at work. So. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I feel really bad for her that she's cooped up here in my office, doing.
So you're getting a lot of sex. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but
no.
I no. No. See, I had to, if anything, I've been working my ass off around here because I had to get my office, which is my little dump, my little hole in the wall. I actually had to make it useful for work. So I had to take everything out, paint the walls, put up curtains, put up shades, put in a new desk, bring in the wife's work, computer. So, yeah, this has been a lot of work for me.
Trey, that was the worst story ever. Let's go back and tell us the story about how you drove 170 miles an hour or whatever it was.
Oh my God. No. It was about 120, actually, roughly.
Why did you need to drive that fast?
I didn't realize I was, to be honest with you. I was just following my stupid ass brother-in-law to Maryland. And and I was driving, and we were in West Virginia, so like around Morgantown, I guess. There's just some big open stretches of highway, and I just kept noticing that nobody was passing us, and we just kept passing everybody. And I looked down, and we were pinging at about 120 miles an hour. And your ass gets really tight when you realize that. Because it's like, holy shit, I could get pulled over and I could go to jail forever, and so it makes you really fucking nervous, to be quite honest with you.
So do you know that there's a site dedicated to jokes about BMW drivers?
Oh, I'm sure there are. Because, I mean, some of that's deserved, some of it's not, but
What's a BMW driver's most ardent wish? A bigger penis. What do you do if you find 3 BMW owners buried up to their neck in cement? get more cement.
Oh my God! Why? Why? Is that jealous of their nice ass car?
Man,
Dude,
man,
these are terrible.
these
None of
are
these are real.
awful.
I'm not making.
No.
I'm just randomly reading jokes off of this BMW driving hating website.
And what would I do with 3 inches anyway, right? I mean, what the hell? What the
Do
hell?
more than you need.
Yeah, I was going to say I've gone this long without that. So, I mean, you give that to me. It's like, well, fuck, I don't know what to do with this.
Well, I've been circumcised twice. I'm thinking about going back for another cut.
Oh my God, Neil.
Of course, Neil.
Hey Neil, what's the difference between a BMW driver and a carp? One is a bottom-feeding scum sucker. The other one is a fish.
Oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry. I don't.
We apologize to the carp community.
Thank
If
you.
it makes you feel better, I've got 2 BMWs.
Wow.
Oh,
That's how you do it. He just rubbed his balls across your face.
Not his penis, though, because it's very tiny.
yeah, right.
So there's probably pee on it.
Yeah,
I got a virtual tea bag from Ice Trey 74. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, I'm dropping the call. You got anything else you want to say? Thanks for listening, man. We love you. You're one of our favorites. You're the best.
See you guys.
All
right.
It's like your favorite thing is to be mean to people. It's like the whole time I feel like you can't wait to tell them you're hanging up on them, no matter who it is. You know, you're just like thinking of a crafty way, like, all right, I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself now. All right.
How do you know if someone drives a BMW?
Well, the best part of that was
how?
when he said, I have 2 BMWs.
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
Oh, hey-o.
Oh.
All right, it's time for nerd stuff. Neil?
Everybody's nerd about something. And if you're not, you don't think Bevan's the man. Nerd stuff.
All right.
Bevan's the man.
Let's see here. Okay. Real quickly, I've just got a few stories. I'm just going to throw them out there real fast. New release dates for Marvel movies. Black Widow has been pushed to November 6th, 2020. The Eternals, February 21st, 2021. Shang-Chi is now May 7th, 2021. Doctor Strange 2, November 5th, 2021. So we're getting 1, 2, 3 in 2021. And Thor, Love and Thunder, February of 2022. Black Panther 2, May 6th, 2022. And Captain Marvel 2, July 8th, 2022. And that's not including any of the Sony movies, which include Venom and Morbius and an unnamed Marvel movie, which is coming out in January. So we've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 superhero movies coming out in the next 3 years. Also, James Gunn. Did you guys know that James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, did you know that he wrote those 2 Scooby-Doo movies?
No.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The ones with Matthew Lillard and Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, James Gunn
was good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The first one was really good. I don't remember the second one too much.
They're not.
Well, so I thought the first one was pretty funny because they made Scrappy Doo the villain. You remember that? And it was this big surprise.
I honestly have no memory of that movie other than that I saw it.
Spoiler, I spoiled the ending for you. It's a big surprise.
Oh, I've seen it.
Scrappy Doo turns out to be the bad guy. So,
did they shoot him?
Yes, they shot and murdered Scrappy Doo at the end. Yes,
or beat him with bats.
Okay, they did all of those. They set the puppy on fire and they beat him with bats.
But he deserves it for all those cartoons we had to suffer.
I know. Scrappy Doo ruined Saturday mornings. We know this.
Yes, he did.
They asked James Gunn what was Scooby-Doo 3 going to be about because he was going to write Scooby-Doo 3 before they decided not to make one. And he said, the Mystery Inc. gang are hired by a town in Scotland who complain they're being plagued by monsters, but we discover throughout the film the monsters are actually the victims, and Scooby and Shaggy have come to terms with their own prejudices and narrow belief systems. Yes, really. So
all right, then.
That was going to be the plot of Scooby-Doo 3, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are the bad guys, and I don't know.
I mean,
James
I'd
Gunn
see
related
that.
to Tim Gunn? Who is Tim Gunn?
Tim Gunn is a fashion guy.
Oh no, James Gunn's not related to him. Is he?
Could be. You don't
He's
know.
from Project Runway, isn't he?
Sure. Yeah. He works with Heidi Klum.
Yes, that's him from Project Runway.
I think they should admit that there's some type of drug in the Scooby snacks.
THC in the Scooby snacks. Everybody knows that. What else was I going to tell you? Quentin Tarantino. Oh, hey, MJ, you don't love these superhero movies, yes? I mean, it's fair to say that you don't really like any of them.
I mean, they're fine. I've watched 2 of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're good. They're fine.
Would you watch one if you knew that the writers of the movie were the same writers who wrote Rick and Morty?
Yeah. Yeah, that would yeah. Yeah, I think I would. It would definitely pique my attention because I'm your basic bitch and I love Rick and Morty. So.
Well, okay, good. The Rick and Morty, the writers of Rick and Morty are writing Ant-Man 3 as we speak.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which is the worst of all those Marvel movies.
I don't want to watch Ant-Man.
They might save it.
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with Ant-Man.
I'll make you watch it first and tell me if it's...
Did you see Ant-Man and the Wasp, Sean?
I did, yes.
Ant-Man's support team is the best support team of the Marvel.
Yeah, that's because Ant-Man's the worst. The support team's great because he sucks. No, I don't mean that. I'm just saying, I don't mean that. I just think that those aren't my favorites. Those Ant-Man movies aren't my favorites.
Too much funny.
Yeah,
it's not that. It's not that. No, that's not true. I like funny things if they're supposed to be funny. I think the humor in Ant-Man works really well.
Paul Rudd jealousy.
I love Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd's great. Basically, I think the plot of Ant-Man and the Wasp was just over the top ridiculous. Where I don't want to get into it. I could go on for an hour about it, and I don't want to bore everybody. They're just not my favorite. Okay.
I mean, I get it. You like your superheroes more grounded in reality. It makes sense. Super soldier serum, okay. Quantum particles, a little too much.
I don't know. I think that they're a little cheesy. Like the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, they save Michelle Pfeiffer from the quantum zone or whatever, and she comes out, and the villain of the movie is the Ghost, and she's actually not a villain, but she's dying, and then Michelle Pfeiffer just magically heals her, and it's just everything's just too perfect, it's too cheesy. There's no drama. Whatever. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I forget what else. Oh, Quentin Tarantino was going to make a Luke Cage movie starring Lawrence Fishburne, but his friends talked him out of it. And this was before Pulp Fiction in 1992.
Can I give you news you really want to hear about?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. Let me go to my thing here. Okay.
That's all I had anyway.
So if you've not watched Tiger King, I'm not sure what you're doing, but the douchey guy that wears like all the afflicted shirts and like the do-rag with the baseball cap that owns Joe Exotic's zoo, he put a thing out on Saturday saying that Netflix was releasing another episode of Tiger King next week that they were actually there filming. Now, Netflix has yet to confirm that. However, everyone's already like, oh my God, another episode of Tiger King. So we got excited about that. But like earlier, are you ready for this? Entertainment Weekly put out a story that ID, the Investigation Discovery Channel, they are actually going to reopen Carol Baskin's missing husband. It's going to be the focus of a Tiger King sequel on ID. So basically, they're going to look into what happened. Did she bury him under a septic tank? Did she feed him to a tiger? Did he actually just disappear in Costa Rica? But Investigation Discovery is actually picking that up. They've titled it Investigating the Strange World of Joe Exotic. Now, they have not given a release date yet, but like, oh my God, yes. That's it.
Things taking over the world.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Have you watched it yet, Sticky?
I'm sorry.
Sticky, have you
What?
watched it yet?
No, I've not watched it yet.
God.
I'm going to.
Anybody?
I've been playing God of War. As soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to watch Tiger King.
I'm watching Tiger King and learning Spanish. You can do both.
Okay.
I
promise.
I have not because I'm not sure how my cat's going to react.
How many episodes are there of it?
There's not many. You can do it in a weekend. Like, you're not dedicating yourself like something huge.
Okay.
Like, it's nothing like The Staircase or, you know what I'm saying?
I promise
Like,
I'll watch it before our next show next Monday.
I think it's like 6 or how many episodes? It's like not that many. It's like 6 or 7. And man, I'm telling you, once you start, because you're like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll watch it, right? Like,
Right.
But this, like, within 5 minutes, you're like, is this fucking real? And then you're like, I'm fucking hooked, and it's done. So just go ahead and give yourself enough time to roll through. And then you'll understand why people are like, we need one more episode, and why I'm super excited that they're actually opening, Investigation Discovery, looking into the death of one of the characters' husbands. So there you go. Yes, promise me you'll watch it by next week.
I will.
All right.
Thank you. You guys want to do dad jokes? Anybody got a dad joke?
Give me a second. If you've got one, go.
I've got one, yes. And I got to tell you, I'm real sad because when I finish this series of jokes that are in this email, I'm going to be out of dad jokes because my dad has discovered memes. And instead of sending me jokes, he's been sending me memes, and it's the worst.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
No.
Yeah. I haven't gotten a joke from him forever.
Dad jokes. They don't surprise you normal folks.
Yeah.
Okay. The affair. You guys might remember that all of these jokes are about having an affair.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good one. A man walked into a cafe, went to the bar, and ordered a beer. Certainly, sir. That'll be 1 cent. 1 cent, the man exclaimed. He glanced at the menu and asked, how much for a nice juicy steak and a bottle of wine? A nickel, the bartender replied. A nickel? Exclaimed the man. Where's the guy who owns this place? The bartender replies, upstairs with my wife. The man asked, what's he doing upstairs with your wife? The bartender replies, the same thing I'm doing to his business down here. Thank you. Thank you. Podbean likes it.
All right.
I'm
John.
going to make that pronouncement instantaneously.
What's the last thing that goes through a bug's mind right before it hits the windshield?
Oh, fuck a windshield.
It's butt.
All right. Another
Is that it?
successful episode. Thanks to every single one of you that called in. You guys are great. Check out Area 81.
Area 81 podcast. And next week, I'm going to try to get on one of the contestants from the reality show Lego Masters, which is every Wednesday night on Fox. And if you haven't seen that, it's like a game. Huh?
Loves that show. My manager at the head at Boston Bay, he is the tiniest little nerd, and he talks about that show constantly. He will probably literally poop his little pants if you actually get one of the contestants.
Well, I'm going to try, so we'll see, but I'll let you know about that. But check out the Area 81 podcast and find us on and follow us here on Podbean, also Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. MJ and the boys.
All right, with that,
guys, stay healthy and stay safe, and I look forward to talking to you next Monday.
Indeed.
Thanks, dude.
This has been MJ and the boys, you lucky bastards.